Okay, let's set a scene for a second. Imagine you've been working your tail off for something, pouring everything you have into it. And then, finally, it happens.
You get that big promotion. Your boss praises you in front of the whole team. You absolutely crush that exam you were dreading. See, on paper, this is a moment for celebration, right? This is the proof that all your hard work paid off.
And yet, instead of feeling proud or relieved, there's this quiet, nagging feeling in your gut. A little voice in the back of your head that whispers, any minute now, they're going to realize it was all a mistake, that you don't actually belong here.
So let's just dive right into this. Because if any of that sounds familiar to you, you are so not alone. That feeling of being a total fraud, it's real, it's incredibly common, and believe it or not, it actually has a name.
It's this internal critic, the one that shows up right when we achieve something. The voice that tells you it was just a fluke, you just got lucky, and you're not nearly as smart or talented as everybody thinks you are.
But what if I told you that feeling isn't proof that you're incompetent? What if it's actually the complete opposite? What if it's a sign that you have this incredible capacity for self-reflection, and that's a strength, not a weakness?
It's always easier to deal with something once you can actually name it. So let's pull this feeling out into the open and see what's really going on here.
This whole thing is called impostor syndrome. Now, the part of this definition that you really got to pay attention to is that word competent. This is a belief held by competent individuals. The feeling is totally disconnected from the reality of your actual abilities.
And this isn't some new agey concept either. It was first identified way back in 1978. So for decades, psychologists have been studying this exact feeling in everyone from students to CEOs, all across the board. But listen, just because it's common doesn't mean it's harmless. Believing that little voice of doubt, well, it comes with a very real and very high price. It can seriously mess with your life. It cranks up your anxiety, and it turns moments that should be happy, like celebrations, into sources of pure discomfort. Professionally, it can just freeze you in your tracks, making you afraid to take on new challenges. This constant fear of being found out leads to overworking, burnout, and just so many missed opportunities.
And this is the trap, right here. It's a vicious cycle. It starts with you feeling like a fraud. So what do? You overwork to try and compensate. Of course, all that hard work leads to more achievements. But instead of relief, that success just makes you feel like an even bigger fraud. The fear gets stronger, and the whole cycle just repeats itself.
But here's where things get really interesting. This is the core of it all, the paradox that can completely flip how you see this feeling.
So let's just break this down. What it feels like is a flashing red sign that you're incompetent. But what research shows it really is often a mark of a high performer. It feels like proof you don't belong, but it's really just the price of being ambitious. It feels like this terrible weakness, when it's actually just a natural byproduct of growing and pushing yourself.
Oh, and you think you're the only one? Get a load of this list. Albert Einstein, Maya Angelou, Meryl Streep. These are absolute giants in their fields, and all of them have talked about feeling like frauds. You are in very, very good company.
And that really leads to this crucial point. Think about it. The person who never doubts themselves, well, they're probably not asking, hey, how can I get better? That inner critic, as long as it doesn't paralyze you, can actually be a huge driver for improvement.
Okay, so knowing all of this, what do we do? How do we move forward? The goal isn't to get rid of the feeling entirely. It's about changing your relationship with it. It's about a reframe.
The whole key is to stop seeing that voice of doubt as a roadblock telling you that you're worthless, and start seeing it as fuel. It's just a signal that you're challenging yourself, that you're in a place where you're about to learn and grow.
So, here's your new game plan. Step 1, just acknowledge the feeling. Don't fight it. Don't judge yourself for it. Just notice it's there. Step 2, recognize it for what it is, a totally normal sign that you're pushing your limits. And step 3, use it. Let it keep you humble. Let it keep you curious and always ready to learn. Because in the end, it's about changing the fundamental question you ask yourself. You've got to stop asking that paralyzing question, am I good enough? And start asking the real, powerful question, which is this: am I willing to grow, even if it means being uncomfortable with not having all the answers? That is the thought to carry with you.